be interested to get your reaction from Wednesday night, if we could, please. Any further clarification for us on why the red card was issued? Are we able to understand how and why?
Now, there's an ongoing process now, and I think I have to respect it. We have to respect that, so I can't go into details. So if you're specific, your question a bit more, maybe I can answer something, but not into the details.
Do you feel because of the handshake then? And was there anything that you directly said to Michael that would have deemed to have been disrespectful?
I think what happened was that the extra time intentional 5 minutes that were ended up being 8. There happened a lot, and the emotions got the better of me. And if I could do that differently, if I look back at it, I would love to do it differently. I'm hoping to do it differently next time as well. But what has exactly been said or what has happened, I just told you there's an ongoing process, and I don't want to disturb that.
So what are your reflections on your side's overall performance and the result then on Wednesday?
It felt immediately after the referee blew his whistle that we lost 2 points, but during the whole 98 minutes, I didn't feel constantly that we were the ones that were going to win the game. It felt like an equal game, and a draw would have been maybe a fair result. But with us leading after 97 minutes, we were quite close to winning the game, so it felt as if we dropped 2 points. But I think we won a lot Wednesday as well, and what I mean with that is if I look at the togetherness of the team together with the fans, how much they fought together to get the result over the line. We've been praised so many times this season about how well these players can play, but they showed a different side of themselves Wednesday. In my opinion, also much better than the year before. They were mentally so strong during a game that was played maybe in the most difficult circumstances for them as well. And to stay strong together, to fight so hard, to be mentally so strong, that gives me a lot of confidence for the upcoming 14 games. I already knew how well they can play, but the togetherness they showed during 98 minutes shows me that we are a very difficult team to beat.
Well, given that there are going to be a lot of emotions and emotionally charged games in the title run-in now, are there learnings to take from Wednesday night?
Like I just said, you mean from me or from the players?
The players and the club as a whole. Yeah.
I think the players, I just said, so I can give the same answer again. They really stood up in a positive way for me. So mentally being so strong in those circumstances. If you don't play your best game, and part of our game plan was of course to prevent them from playing so many balls into our box. But it's difficult to prevent that if you concede 20 free kicks. So then you just have to act what is their strongest asset, maybe playing the balls in with all these centre backs and full backs coming up. And apart from the first goal that we conceded from a free kick, I think we defended that really well. So players showed that they are more than 11 quality individuals that can play together in ball possession so well. They also showed they have great mentality. Again, in what I've experienced to now, the most difficult circumstances we played until now.
Arne, looking at the big picture, 14 games to go in the Premier League season, does a performance and experience like you had on Wednesday night actually serve to benefit this group going forward, looking at the title run?
Yeah, that's a bit the similar answer that I just gave. Of course, we would have loved to go 9 points up. That would have been probably better than 7. Or not probably, that would have been better than 7. But we take a lot of positives from the game as well, not football-wise. So we didn't play our best game in terms of ball possession. But I have to give credits to David Moyes as well. Since he came in, he's done a tremendous job. And he made it a really hard game for us. But the players stood up, in my opinion, because I did watch the game back last season. I told you in the pre-match conference, press conference, we were mentally much stronger than last season. We went 1-0 down and came back by leading the game till the 97 minutes with 2-1.
Looking ahead to this weekend then, what's the team news heading into Wolves, and what do you expect from Wolves now they've got a different manager and potentially a different style?
Yeah, I said second half of the season is always more difficult than the first half for many reasons. Some teams bring new players in, some teams playing longer together, so they are playing better together. Some teams bring new managers in, like Everton, and this manager is at Everton is doing a great job. And the one from Wolves has made them better as well. Although I said back then that Kerry O'Neill has been very, very unlucky, because I think he deserved much more points than he got for several reasons. But the new manager that came in has done a very good job. Got some positive results in. So it's going to be a challenge again on Sunday, but that is normal. Last part of the season in the best league of the world, you can't expect to go out there and have an easy win. So it's always going to be a tough one. But players shown for the whole season that they are ready for tough games.
And what's the team news going into this weekend? Any changes?
No, we saw Trent, of course, being able to play. It was the intention to play around half an hour. I think he played somewhere around half an hour. So he will be training with us again. Joe Gomez is out. And Tyler Morton is out. And I think those are the only two, am I right? Yeah, but we were off yesterday, so I don't know exactly the new... Oh, Cody is a bit of a doubt as well. So let's wait how he is today. But I had to take him off because of an injury. Because he got a knock. So let's see how he is today.
Mike?
Arne, you've spoken already a couple of times about the mental strength and resilience that the players showed on Wednesday night. That's going to be an important quality between now and the end of the season. How do you actually go about instilling that in the players? Is it something you do on the training ground? Do you work with them in here? Do you work with them collectively? Do you bring other people in? Because it's a difficult sort of quality to actually give a quantifiable element to, isn't it?
Yeah. No, it's not that we bring someone else in. Is he making a picture now? I think it's the same with trying to implement the playing style. You also, on a daily basis, maybe not every single day, but you also try to implement certain things mentality-wise. So you talk during training sessions or meetings also about these kind of things. And a part of mentality is, of course, also just work as hard as you can and in the most difficult circumstances. So if things go against you or the other team is better than you at a certain moment, how do you react? And so yeah, you talk on a daily basis about that. I think I've said already that I also 2 days before the game or 1 day before the game, I showed them some clips from last season. How the game was being played and how we acted on certain situations, how we reacted on certain situations. So it's an ongoing process, but it's also, if you want to play at a top club like this, you need to have more than only quality. If you only have quality, probably you don't end up at Liverpool, so you need to have mentality as well. So it's a combination of that these players have this inside of them, otherwise you don't play it for one of the biggest clubs in the world. And it's something you try to address on a daily basis to create the right mentality.
And Wolves under Vitor Pereira, significant improvement. It's never about one player, clearly, but in Matheus Cunha, they have a player with star quality, that X factor, and somebody that for opposing sides, very difficult to get a handle on during the match. And how do you propose to cope with that?
Yeah, he's a type of player that I'm referring to when I always say if I compare the leagues where I've worked in this league. So if I don't know exactly where Wolves is at the moment, so somewhere between, where are they at the moment? Position 17. If you go to the Dutch league and you look at the number 17, there's no player that can play for Ajax, PSV or Feyenoord. But Matheus Cunha is a quality player and he has the quality to play for one of the top 5 teams in England. And that is also one of the reasons why it's so much more difficult to win a game against the number 17 in England than to win the number 17 in Holland. Again, we already saw when we played against them with Gary O'Neill. They had a very good performance back then as well, and he in particular. So we know that it's going to be a tough game on Sunday again.
Arne, how likely would Curtis Jones have been to have started this game? And is it maybe a little bit of a shame that he gets a little bit of a hurdle and stumble in his possible momentum there?
No, the good thing is that we play so many games. I think he got a second yellow, didn't he? If I'm correct. So that I assume that it's the same in England as in Holland. That's only one game then, I assume. Yeah. So he's been out then for one game, and then next Wednesday is a game, and then Sunday again there is a game. So he comes back from an injury, so he missed already a few games. I was planning to start him against Plymouth. He wasn't completely recovered yet. I liked him a lot when he came in. Very good half hour. I think it was the best part of our game. After we made the substitutions, that was the only part of the game where I felt a bit of comfort and a bit of maybe this feels like a bit of control. I didn't think we controlled the game or whatever, but maybe the most we controlled the game, and that's maybe because of that we went 2-1 up, and afterwards I felt we maybe we could have defended that lead, or we were good enough. We didn't concede a lot afterwards anymore. I think before we scored the 2-1 and before we made the substitutions, the game could have gone either way.
Any more for the Blackouts? James?
So you more upset with the amount back in time than the push on Canate?
I just said that many things in extra time happened that led to me being quite emotional, and there was a VAR incident for 2 minutes where he checked. I thought maybe the only thing that could happen is that he looks back at the foul, and then all of a sudden I was happy, like, oh, maybe it's offside. And of course, then if after 10 minutes you hear their fans cheering, so you're like, okay, it wasn't offside. So many things happened in the end phase in extra time. But like I said, it wouldn't be smart to go into every single incident.
And just on Curtis at the end, can you understand that he reacted the way he did?
I like a lot that he stands up for the team, but I think there are also other ways for the team and for the fans. But there are also other ways to do that. Maybe. So I will talk with him about that. But yeah, it's the same for me. I should have acted differently after the game as well. But it's an emotional sport, and sometimes individuals, out of emotion, make the wrong decision, and that's definitely what I did.
No.
Hi Arne, you mentioned about the improvement in midfield after the substitutions, and in the early going, the starting midfielders, I think they only managed to make 5 passes to the starting forward, so there was a real disconnect between the midfield and the forward line. You also mentioned the high foul count, which is quite strange for a team that had so much ball possession to have so many more fouls than their opponents. Do you think that played a part of the way that the game was being officiated, meant maybe some of the midfielders felt they couldn't make those foul passes because of their forwards?
No, I didn't. I only said that a part of our game plan was to prevent them from playing a lot of long balls. But it's difficult to prevent the goalkeeper from playing a long ball, and it's difficult if they get a free kick because it's not allowed to stay 1 meter in front of the ball. So they are able then to play the ball long, and I liked the way we defended that. So I haven't said anything about the way it was officiated. Is that the word you used? But it was clear that our midfielders were and the whole team weren't able to bring our attackers in a lot of promising positions, because I think we scored 2 goals and maybe we created 2.5 chances. So again, it shows you the quality of our finishing. But I would have acted different, loved to act differently after the game. I would have loved us to play the game in a different way, but it's so hard to play the game in a different way if you face the circumstances we faced and the playing style we faced. So that's why I was happy that we coped with that playing style in such a good manner.
Well done.
Cheers, Arne.
Thank you.